Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly check-in video there, and at this point in the course you should be working on Unit 4. It just opened up on Friday there, and so maybe some of you are still working on finishing off your exam there for the third unit of the course there. But in the fourth unit there, you're going to see chapters 11, 12, and 13. And one thing I will caution you on big time here actually is that you really need to watch the lecture videos for chapter 11 on factorial designs, else you might find a lot of that material really kind of hard to digest there. So they're the most complicated designs we're going to cover in the course, and I do walk you through quite a few examples, of some of which are in your book there too. But these kinds of designs, it really helps if you have somebody kind of explain all of it for you, or you might feel a little overwhelmed by those. They're just not really intuitive there, at least for most people they're not. So if you're already getting them, that's great, but if you're having some trouble, definitely watch the videos there, and that'll probably help you out a great deal. You'll have your exam on Unit 4 that following Friday there. It'll open up there. And don't forget, as it says here in the unit module here, that your literature review paper is due on July 23rd, which is a Thursday. So I've already made comments about this, but make sure that you take a look at the instructions there in the APA literature review module. And you'll find also an embedded instruction file there, which has some really great details about how you do your title page, your abstract page, the actual paper itself, and the reference page there. There are embedded links there to a sample title, abstract, and completed literature review paper. And there's also a separate checklist you'll find on that same file. It just says checklist. You probably want to take a look at that checklist before you start writing your paper, because you don't want to write your paper and realize that you've got some things really incorrect there, at least according to the checklist there. So just take a look at that so you don't end up having to correct any major mistakes there, and you'll be much more prepared. And also don't forget that you've got your pocket guide to APA style. There's all kinds of examples of citations in there. And also there's a completed sample literature review paper. It's in chapter 9. It's the first paper in that chapter. It's the one that's on birth order there. So make sure you take a look at that. And as you'll find in the instruction file there, your paper has to be a minimum of 8 full pages of literature review content. And then you're going to have 3 additional pages, a title page, an abstract page, and a page of references there. So 11 altogether. And so just kind of keep that in mind there too. And also be careful not to do excessive quoting. Some of you did that in your outlines, so be careful to avoid that in your final paper. Some quotes are fine, but you don't want to have like every page or every paragraph just full of quotes, because I'm going to dock you for that, because that's quoting's not writing. So be careful about that. And also be careful to paraphrase the sources that you find there. So in the instructions there, in the APA Literature Review module, towards the bottom, you'll find a little section there about plagiarism. I reproduced a table from Chapter 4 in your text there on a sample of plagiarized material, so make sure you take a look at that so you have a real concrete sense of what is and what is not good paraphrasing there. Because I am going to submit your papers to that Turnitin platform, and it will catch things like that, so please be careful. I don't want to see any of you, one, get in trouble for plagiarizing, because that's an academic infraction, so you can get into some trouble with that with your record, but also you don't want to end up losing points on your paper as well, so please be careful about that. And otherwise, just work through chapters 11, 12, and 13. Once you get past chapter 11, as I'll tell you in the unit introduction there for this unit, it's pretty much smooth sailing, because 11's kind of the big hump you got to get over. And then the remaining chapters you're going to find really aren't that bad, honestly. They're a lot lighter compared to some of our other chapters we've covered. So I think you'll find that most of my students tell me that, so it's not so bad. So you can coast a bit there towards the end, I think. Most students tend to. So, and there's only 2 chapters in our last part of the course, Unit 5. There are chapters 14 and 15, and so just kind of keep that in mind. All right, well, that's everything I wanted to say as far as just checking in with you. So, just keep your pace. Most of you are doing just fine keeping up with things. You're doing a great job on your discussion items there, too. So keep up the good work. We're more than halfway done at this point, so it's going to be over in a couple more weeks. So just keep on doing what you're doing, and most of you are going to be fine, I'm sure. All right, I'll see you next time.